Welcome again. This is Frishonda Thornton, the Dietitian Against Diets podcast show with the Play to Win series. If this is your first time coming, just know the Play to Win is pieces and bits from my book called Play to Win Your Food Fight. It's all a book about tools, not rules. Before I start into my particular topic, I want to introduce you to one of my newer podcast partners. I'm not sure if you heard of them, but I love their name. It's called Imperfect Foods. And what Imperfect Foods are is that they're an online grocery store that sources imperfect produce and surplus food directly from farmers, growers, and food purveyors. And what they do is they gather those foods and they deliver it to your homes. And it's just a new sustainable way that they're ensuring that just because the foods may not look perfect doesn't mean the nutrition is compromised. The good thing is that their subscription, because they're able to do this, their subscription is 30% less than what you would pay at any grocery store. And if you want to check them out, before you go, take advantage of their code that they're offering. You get $10 off your first box if you go and type in Rashonda at checkout. And let me spell that for you, just in case you didn't know. It's RESHAUNDA. Go to the website at imperfectfoods.com. Follow them on Instagram at Imperfect Foods, or find them on Facebook at Imperfect Foods. So this particular week, I think this is like a great topic because I think we all struggle with this concept. Being selfish. A lot of times selfish is looked at as, something that's successfully concerned about yourself and not really regarding others. And we're taught that being selfish only has one definition: putting others first. And that's admirable. And I think that we all should always look for ways to put others first. But when it comes to our health, when it comes to our own personal goals, it's the component of being able to be selfish and actually being okay with being selfish. And that's the hardest part. When you're thinking about being selfish, you think, you're not, looking out for others, and you have to sacrifice your time, what's valuable to you for the sake of others. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. I call it, we always find ourselves being the backseat driver of our life. And if you think about the concept of a backseat driver, think about when you're riding your Uber or you're on a Lyft, you are in the back seat and someone else is controlling the wheel. They're controlling how fast you go. Yes, we know you have a destination, but they're controlling which direction you go. And you really don't have that much control. And so I think that's what we find ourselves doing in our lives. We allow our family to be put in front of our needs. We allow our circumstances to be put in front of our needs, our jobs. We always find a way that we decide that we should come second no matter what. And I call that being the backseat driver. So to flip that, how can we learn to be the front seat driver? And being a front seat driver is just basically being in control of your life. You are taking control of the wheel. You are the one deciding which direction your life is going to go when it comes to your health, when it comes to your particular goals. Does being a front seat driver mean that, if you're a front seat driver, you're taking care of those that you're in front of, right? That you are driving, and that is the people that you care about. When we take a time to be selfish for ourselves, that allows us to be in line with ourselves, to feel better about ourselves, to take care of ourselves. And guess what? If you take care of yourself, you can better take care of those that you love. So it's just the concept of understanding being selfish is actually okay. And it doesn't mean you have to completely exclude yourself from your responsibilities or your family and friends that you love, but just making sure you're carving out time for yourself. And that's the biggest piece. I just think the thought process of being selfish, we feel overwhelmed, we feel fatigued, we feel stressed. And I feel like sometimes we don't have the time, we don't have the energy to go to the grocery store and get, the particular ingredients for a certain recipe, or we just don't have time to get up early in the morning and to go work out. I just feel like we use the concept of not being selfish as a crutch. And a crutch is what is a crutch? You're depending upon something, and you're dependent upon, other responsibilities getting in the way of you really reaching your goals. And I don't think that that's the way that we should, take advantage of how we should take care of ourselves. My definition, so let's flip that over. So what's the opposite of well, let's say, what is selfish, in my opinion? Being selfish is really just making time to take care of yourself. That doesn't just necessarily mean exercise. Think of emotionally, mentally. What is your well-being when you put it all together? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you making sure that you are serving yourself to your best capacity? So we think about reasons not to be selfless, reasons to be selfish. As I said a few moments ago, health is number one. Making sure that your health, that's your life. That's what the better your health, the better you're able to do everything else in your life. So making time to be selfish, to take care of your health, should always be number one. I'm sure we've all have those relatives or those parents that, they're always stressed out, putting others first, not really taking care of themselves, or they'll deal with themselves after the kids grow up. And while that's happening, their health is declining until when they do get that opportunity, it's too late. So how can we simultaneously make sure we are being selfish enough to take care of our health while we're still taking care of others? And when we think about stress, don't think, don't be selfless because you worry that others won't understand, or they will think that you are not looking out for them. I think we're in a world where we're just taught that we should always feel guilty if we're taking time to go to the gym, or if we're getting an extra couple hours of sleep. I don't think that's selfish at all. I think when you're doing those things, those people that may feel that you're being selfish, they will eventually over time understand what you're doing and understand the benefits of what you're doing. And guess what? They will reap the benefits of what you're doing. So it's a win-win situation. I'll give you a quick example. As a parent, I have a son, and our whole entire life, he's seen his mom work out. He's seen his mom eat healthy. And so if I'm telling my son I'm going to the gym or going somewhere to work out or run, he doesn't hesitate or ask me why, or why am I not doing something with him, because he knows that that's just a part of what I do. That's a part of me taking care of myself. So what happens? He wants to work out with me. He wants to do things with me because he understands that it's just a part of our lives. And so doing those things for ourselves, taking care of yourself, is not really a selfish thing. It just amplifies the ability to love those around you. So how can we take some of these thought process of how can we start to be selfish in a healthy way? Here's my play to win moments. Remember, self-preservation can be simple. It could be something simple as just making sure you have, those fresh fruits in the refrigerator. Just making a point to, right after work, go do your walk, or in between your work, go do your walk. It doesn't have to be a drawn out, self-retreat to a distant land, or taking a 5-hour, time away from your family. It can be pieces that are sprinkled throughout your day, throughout your week, that you carve out for yourself to give yourself that self-care. So examples, when I say self-care, is actually, what are your actions? When you're cooking, I'm going to use food as an example. Let's not use the microwave. Let's take time to cook. Taking time to cook is taking time to make sure you are feeding your body to its best ability versus just throwing something in the microwave. That's being selfish. That's self-care. The same concept. As I said earlier, go for a walk, and invite others to come with you. You can definitely, you don't have to do it by yourself just for it to be self-care. You can bring someone on board with you, and guess what? You're both taking care of yourself and being selfish at the same time. And when you are being selfish, you making undistracted time, and you make intentions to look out for yourself. And with that, you learn more about yourself, and you start to value yourself more. Just think about the times when we just put ourselves third or last, and we're not looking at ourselves. We're not taking ourselves into consideration. We're not valuing our time and ourselves. But when you do take the time, you do find that you learn more about yourself and you start to value yourself a little bit more. And other people will value your time as well. And then again, it's not all about you. If you want to be selfless, how can you encourage others to do the same, or invite them along the road so that they can find ways to be selfish? I say that it's all about, what's the greater good? What's the greater good for yourself, and what's the greater good for others? So take a moment, learn how to be selfish, so that you can be more selfless in your health and what you can do for others. As we're closing out, one of my long-term companies that are partnering with me with this, you've heard it before, but I will say it again. Banner Road is a company here in St. Louis. They are considered the world's best granola. And you can grab some of their products online, or if you're here in St. Louis, they're right here in the heart of St. Louis, and in most of your local grocery stores. And they're actually going to be having a brick and mortar coming up soon, so I'm really excited about that. What is Banner Road? Banner Road is a combination, their granola is a combination of spicy, sweet, and savory flavors, and that separates this particular product from other granola companies. One thing I love about it, nutrition is most important, and all the ingredients are organic, whole foods with minimal natural sweeteners. And then they have an amazing owner who's also a chef. Her name is Ann Croy. She's the brains behind all of these different flavors and products. And one of her things that she wants to ensure that every batch is full of unique flavor, and it also nourishes you. So check them out. Go to their website at www.bannerroads.com. See the different types of granola varieties they have and order some online, or just kind of learn about their stories by going to Instagram on Banner Roads, and you'll kind of get an idea of like what's behind their product. This is Rashonda Thornton, the dietitian against size. Stay well and see you guys next time.